Okay, today we're talking about 7.3, day 2, where we're finding each product. So I want you to take a minute and I want you to do A, B, and C, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, here's what you should have gotten for A, B, and C. For A, you should have x squared plus 7x plus 10. For B, you should have x squared minus x minus 12. And then for C, I showed my work of how I came up with it. So you should have started with 10x squared minus 6xy minus 5xy plus 3y squared. Make sure that you put these in alphabetical order to help you. So if you have this as minus 5yx, this is the same thing. These are like terms, so you can combine them together. So your final answer should be 10x squared minus 11xy plus 3y squared. And this is in standard form because it's going alphabetically. So here's what's important for today. The big key parts is 1, you need to make sure that you're distributing correctly, okay? 2, you need to watch your signs. Watch those positives and negatives. Make sure you get that written down. And then finally, all answers must be in standard form. Get that written down as well. So I'm going to show you how to do A, and then I'm going to have you try a couple on your own. So here I'm multiplying, and if you notice the difference is we have a binomial and then a trinomial. So I'm going to distribute this x to everything in the second parenthesis. So I'm going to go x times x squared, which is x cubed, x times negative 3x, which is negative 3x squared, because now I have two x's, and then x times negative 2, which is negative 2x. Then I'm going to distribute the 5 to everything. So it becomes plus 5x squared minus 15x minus 10. Sorry, I ran out of room, so I'm just going to put that right down there. And then just like yesterday, I'm now going to combine my like terms and write my answer in standard form. So I'm going to combine negative 3x squared and 5x squared. And I'm going to combine negative 2x and negative 15. Sorry, I did negative 15x. So my final answer is x cubed plus 2x squared minus 17x minus 10. And that is in standard form. Alright, I want you to go ahead and try B on your own, doing exactly what I did in A. Here is my work and my final answer for B. What do you notice in C? How is it different from A and B? So if you take a look, in this problem we have our trinomial first and then our binomial. So if you liked what was going on with A and B, if you want, you can start off by flipping this and rewriting it as n minus 3 times n squared minus 2n plus 4, and then just do exactly what we did in problem A and B. If you don't mind looking at it this way, you can do the same steps where we're distributing, but now I'm distributing the trinomial to the binomial. So I'm going to distribute n squared and to n, and I get, I'll change my color just so that you guys can see what goes with what. So this becomes, this is C down here, n cubed, then n squared times negative 3, so I get negative 3n squared. Then I'm going to distribute negative 2n to everything, so I get negative 2n cubed, sorry, not cubed, squared, and then negative 2n times negative 3, which is negative 6n. And then finally, I also need to distribute this 4 to everything, so I get plus 4n. I'm running out of room again, so I'm just going to make sure you can see it. And then 4 times negative 3, which is negative 12. And then my last step has to be to combine my like terms and write it in standard form. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So my final answer here is n cubed minus 5n squared plus 10n minus 12. I want you to go ahead and try D and E, and make sure that you read E carefully and don't just jump into the problem. So go ahead, try D and E, and then I'll show you my work. Okay, for D, I distributed and then combined my like terms. So your final answer should be 2k squared plus 6kn minus 8n squared. For the last one, E, I feel like sometimes we're getting into a very robotic when we're doing our problems and we're just going through the motions. If you stop and look at E, it has an addition sign in between. So here we're not multiplying, we're adding. So we have to go back to what we talked about last week, where we're just finding our like terms. So I'm going to go n plus n, and when I combine those I get 2n, and then I'm going to go 2 plus 8, so I get plus 10. So that's my final answer for E. So since you have all of your notes completed, you can go ahead and start on your homework. We will be taking a skill check over this in the next class period.